welcome to another episode of Shooting
the Shit with Rachel
and Neal Young. So we're talking all things real estate photography business growth, mindset, and getting it done. Here come your favorite true entrepreneurs, Rachel and Neal Young, shooting the shit.
I have a ferret on the podcast. Like if we're kind of in a slump, like what kind of things do you do?
Talking about a boob light.
Straddling a power line.
Nice photo.
Ooh, I need that.
I'm like red right now because I'm embarrassed. I go like this. I love it.
Come in.
Sure, use your podcast voice.
You know, over here, I'm kidding out.
Drone's like flipping to the ground.
That's a great callback.
Chit-chatting.
Is that what you call that? Hey!
Rach, who do you love?
HD Photo Hub.
Today's episode is brought to you by HD Photo Hub.
The platform real estate photographers trust.
And so do we, because Rach and I both use it on a daily basis. Check it out.
Hello, guys, and welcome back to the podcast. Today, we're going to talk about why you should start doing video marketing and also why your agents should. And hopefully motivate some of you to get on camera because it's fun. Right, Neal?
It is fun. And I feel like it's a big deal. Once you start doing it, you will see the impacts, the positive impacts of doing that. And there's so many, I feel like, media creators who aren't doing it yet. So I think it's an important thing, for sure.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I'm going to put out a poll on Instagram that asks you guys these questions, but I'm going to ask Neal. It's really meant for a group of people to be asking this question. But
I can be a group of people.
Okay.
Hello, hi, how are you? We're so excited to be here. Oh my gosh, this is great.
Perfect. Okay, good. I got lots of people in the house. How many personalities are in there?
Don't know what you're talking about, lady.
At least 7. Okay. So would you say that you're 100% comfortable being on camera right now? Like when you push play?
I think if anybody ever told you they were 100% comfortable being on camera, I call liar, pants on fire. Even when you've done it professionally, I used to audition all the time. I was never 100% comfortable. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Maybe just like the actors and actresses, but they probably still get a little nervous. Anyways, okay, so that's a no. You've been on camera before. I'm going to ask how many of you have ever been on camera before. I'm going to ask how many of you want to get on camera, how many of you don't really want to, but you know you should be. So these questions are coming at you in an Instagram poll. I'd love to hear your feedback. It's going to be a fun one because I think a lot of us fall into that last category where we're like, well, we don't really want to, but we know we should. It's funny because when we signed up to be photographers, like I never thought I'd have to be an actor or an actress in this industry. You know, with Instagram, social media. That's the way you communicate to your clients. You know, that's the best way to get in front of them. And now we're encouraging them to get on camera, which is, you know, if you have the skills yourself, it's a lot easier to coach them along and help them along as they start getting onto camera. So
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And it's a hard thing though, because a lot of people are behind the camera because they're more comfortable there, because there's a lot of us that are introverts that aren't always wanting the direct attention. But I think it can only help your business by starting to do that. And like Rachel said, you can lead by example. And once they see you do it successfully, and you could have your stories, they could relate to you. You could tell them, hey, I used to be terrified too, but look at me now. I think, yeah, for sure. You got it.
So we are coming at you with the 3-part series on getting comfortable on camera. And we are going to start, today's episode is all about why you need to get on camera. Next week is going to be mindset and some mindset hacks that will help you overcome some of those insecurities and fears. And then the last one is going to be tips and tricks to actually feel more comfortable on camera. So it's going to be a fun series. We're excited to kick it off today. So part 1, Neal, let's talk about, I want to just introduce myself and talk about my experience behind the camera so you guys understand where I'm coming from. And then Neal will do the same. So I am the founder of Focused Media Collective. We're a real estate and lifestyle media company here in the Seattle area. I have been on getting on camera for the last 5 years for my business, since I've been on Instagram for about 7 years, but 5 years on camera, which has been amazing. Also, obviously, the co-founder of the real estate photography podcast, Shooting the Shit, which has helped me to find my voice, to help with my enunciation, my flow, my grammar, like all these things. It's just really, this has helped quite a bit with my presence on camera. And also, I am the co-host of Master Plan Media, which is a production company. I've been in a couple commercials. We've done multiple episodes that are on Instagram and YouTube, and then we're now on local TV channel Fox 13 doing the Real Estate Roadshow. So that has been going on for the last 2 years, and that's been just throwing me right into in front of the camera, I should say, which has been fun. It's been an adventure and crazy, and half the time I'm terrified, but how do you get better? Just keep trying and keep doing things that scare you. So that's a little bit about me. Getting on camera for my business has been a total game changer. Like, it has honestly opened up so many doors for me. For instance, the Master Plan Media opportunity would not have arose had I not gotten myself on camera. Dan, one of the founders, saw me on Instagram, saw how I was building my personal brand, and he was like, wow, this girl's really inspiring. I love what she's doing. And he reached out to see if I wanted to work with him. So that came from just being on camera. Also with speaking opportunities, I believe because I've been so present in front of the camera that I have had opportunities to be on different panels and, do things at PMRE that I probably wouldn't have been able to do without the podcast and putting myself out there, along with like speaking arrangements at conferences and stuff like that for broker presentations. It just makes all of that so much easier. I've also met a lot of people this way on social media by doing video. I really try to let my personality come through. And so I feel like people get a chance to understand who I am and what I'm about. Like Neal, I met through being on a podcast, and he's one of my best friends now. I have multiple good friends of mine who literally I've met on Instagram, and it's just from video marketing and talking in stories and, getting to know each other basically. And it starts with the video presence.
Yeah.
So Neal,
and they probably never would have known you if all you ever had was, aerial videos and things like this of houses. They never would have happened, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They wouldn't, like, why would they follow me? There's nothing, right. I mean, it's cool, nice pictures, but realistically, there's a lot of accounts like that. There's nothing special making it stand out.
People are so much more engaging and interesting than just houses.
Exactly.
That's what I feel. I feel like the same conversation that we have with our realtors about why they should be on camera is the same conversation we all need to have as media creators.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So my background is I came from a theater background. I went to school for theater. After school, I drove cross country to Los Angeles. I was out in Los Angeles for 10 years as a starving actor and starving actor aspiring to be on TV and be in movies. And I studied improv comedy at the Groundlings and Acme Comedy, and had small little breakthroughs here and there. Line in a movie, a little teeny part as a Seacrest clone, look-alike on Jimmy Kimmel, little things. Nothing, never got a huge break or anything like that, but I was always out there doing it and trying it and getting on camera. But even with that experience, I was never 100% comfortable on camera. It's still terrifying when you get a lens in your face and it's like, don't screw up. So I get it. And that's how everybody feels, like, right? But that's not abnormal. And you should know that most people feel that, even if they don't always show it and they look great. A lot of the times you should know under their skin, they're going, oh, I hope I don't screw up, or I hope I don't embarrass myself, or I hope this is good, or you know what I mean? So that's normal. You should know that. But yeah, as far as, how it's helped my business, I think one of the first videos I ever did for myself was I just filmed myself in front of a white background and just told people who I was. And
that video, Neal, is so good. We have to put that on our YouTube.
I have to redo it. And actually, I saw it the other day and I was like, wow, I look so much older already.
Oh, rock the young one. Rock the young Neal.
I have to redo it. But that video was, again, it separated me from just being another person who did photos. It was called, I think I called it Nice to Meet You or something like that. And I just told them who I was, what my background was, and what I did, and tried to do it in a little bit of a fun way. And they got to know me. And they even ended up using that as a piece, some of my agents started using that at their listing appointments, and they're like, "Hey, this is our photographer," and it won people over at listing appointments. Like even they were like, "Yeah, we want to work with you guys and your team, and you got your fun media guys," and so it can really be an advantage to put yourself out there to separate yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
100%. I love it.
yeah.
I love that people like, I don't know what I was going to say. I'll just cut that out. I was
What
trying
were
to
you
have
gonna
something.
say? What
Well, I
you
was
had
trying
to?
to have something to say, but I'm like kind of half listening. I'm like thinking about what I'm going to say next. So I wasn't fully engaged. And then I
That's
just
the
realized that I
biggest.
was thinking about something because that's my total ADD brain. I'm
Yeah.
like, stay engaged, listen, focus,
That
focus.
is the biggest
Look at
challenge in
Neil.
being an actor, actually, is actually listening and not sitting there and thinking about your next thing, or even just in a regular conversation, like to close a deal. That's the same thing. You're in your
Mm.
head thinking about what you want to say next, and you're not actually connecting.
Yeah.
So get on camera, but try to listen and not focus on your own lines.
Yes. Don't be self-conscious, be other conscious, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, what was I say?
Oh,
No,
and you know what
it's
else is fun? Actually, today we was our second social media class that I've started doing, trying to get up and rolling and kind of just like feeling it out. But that's another thing. Even though I don't have a gigantic following or anything like that, this is trying to help them do well, and a lot of them never even did a reel before. So I was helping them get on
wow.
camera today. A bunch of them did their first reels
So
on
cool.
Instagram, and just establishing that you can do this and you can help. There's other tools and other possible offerings that you could also do that you might not have thought of. And if nothing else, you're just helping your clients succeed even more with helping them get on camera.
Yeah. Do you charge for that, Neil?
We will be.
Oh, cool.
We've
Okay.
been trying to iron out. This is a team that we've done the first two
Mm,
with, and tried to. I gave an offering for. They were thinking potentially they'd maybe do an offering for the whole team,
hmm
and we tried to come up, a little bit in a vacuum because we didn't really know. So we tried to come up. I tried to think about like what would help make them successful on social media. So it wasn't just training, but we were also trying to tie in some branding, some 3 times a year branding sessions for them all and stuff like this, so that they would have always an evolving, vault of stuff they could use for posts and stuff like that. So we came up with that as a solution. I thought it was pretty good, and some other things that we would add in, like we would give them marketing kits on every one of their listings and stuff like this to try and give them more media to have, to keep consistency going. So anyway, we offered that at a price, and basically the feedback we got was like, oh, okay, that's a little more than we were thinking.
mm,
And so we're like, all right, and we're kind of going back and forth now to decide, is this a team offering that
mm.
the team's going to cover, or is it on an individual basis if the cost is too preventative, or is it like that branding part will split off and just keep the training covered by the team? So we're just totally ironing it out at this point. But so far, they found value from it. They're excited to be there for the second week, and yeah, I don't know. There's something there when people need help and you can help. There's definitely something there, and it's just a matter of iron out the details from there.
Yeah, totally. Okay, I'm going to be dead honest with you guys of where
Mm,
this episode came from. I did a broker presentation yesterday over
mm,
Zoom, and this was my outline teaching brokers how to get on camera. And I
yeah,
called Neil, I'm like, Neil, let's do this for the podcast. We'll just break it into 3 sections. So, and it was so fun. There was so much engagement, so many good questions. I asked them what their biggest fears were with getting on camera and got some great insight into what they were really feeling hung up on. So I could dig in a little deeper on the answers I was going to give. Like it was good. They were into it. So for
yeah.
me, it's like when I go into a broker presentation, how can I add value? What can I do that's different?
Mm,
We're not just talking about myself and my services. Like that's great. I start with that. And then I end with an offer. And I end kind of talking about the real estate but photography business. But I mean, the bulk of it is this. Like, let's help. So I
yeah.
have 3 different presentations right now that I'm offering. But anyways, that's where this
What
came
were
from. So
they, Rach? I'd love to know what. I'm sure we'd probably all relate to it. What were some of the answers they gave you for what they're most afraid of? What's holding them back?
yeah. So one guy said it was the grammar so he has a YouTube channel and then he's also on Instagram. So he said his Instagram reels are short and those are easy for him to record. He doesn't struggle. He said, but when it's the longer form sit down videos, he can't remember the content and his grammar isn't great. He's like, I feel like I need a teleprompter, which I've done. He goes, I have ChatGPT script it for me, and then it just doesn't sound like me.
Mhm.
So, and my like solution for him was write an outline of what you're going to talk about, have
Yep.
bullet points for each second, and record it in sections, one paragraph at a time. You know the information, so just pretend like you're talking to another agent when you're given a market update or whatever you're talking about. You don't need it word by word. And then I said, put your personality into it. People don't ever, all this information that they're putting out is out there.
Right.
Most of it's not original content. It's just kind of like educational stuff. So how can you make it interesting and fun to listen to so people want to stay on your content? Because they don't just want to listen to a chat GPT script, to be honest.
Yeah.
So that was one. Another one was the girl was like, I just get so nervous that I forget my lines. Like I just get terrified. I shake. When I told her like a lot of it's you're thinking about yourself too much. You need to think about other people. We'll get into that one. Think about your audience and who you're talking to, and then deep breaths. If that's an anxiety response, when that blood drains from your body and you're shaking and you're terrified, that's anxiety. So breathing techniques have been proven to reduce anxiety. So you need to breathe until you're calmed down and then come back to film. So,
Hmm.
um, I think that was it. There was
Yeah.
one other one. I can't remember what it was. I have it recorded, so I'll look back.
Yeah. People are definitely intimidated as soon as they get in front of the lens.
Mm-hmm.
And just because they're not used to it. I remember a great tip that a amazing, I can't remember her name, amazing portrait photographer. She had all these beautiful shots of her own kids like playing. She had like a farm. She lived on a farm and they're just like playing and having fun. And she said the trick is to just always have your camera and always taking pictures. And the more you take pictures, the less they care about the camera and the more you
Mm-hmm.
get the real them. And I
Yeah.
think the same thing is true for that camera getting in your face.
Mm-hmm.
The more you get it in your face, the more you talk to it, um, that starts to go away.
Yeah, that's 100% right. Yeah. I mean, it just takes time. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't get nervous anymore when I record my Tip Tuesdays or have to do like basic stuff. I sometimes get a little nervous when it's a real tailored script that I have to read and Dan's feeding me the line and it's not my own words. I hate that. I always feel like this is going to sound so bad. It's going to sound so scripted. So
Yeah.
that makes me a little nervous, but for the most part, like because I've done it so much, it's really not, it doesn't make me as nervous. It's great. So I agree with that 100%.
One more
Really good.
question about your, I'm excited that you're doing that. And I think that's a genius idea because, yeah, I mean, you've got so much more value than just someone who can only show up and take photos. You can help them succeed because they all know they need to succeed on camera. And I think we
Yeah,
all need to know that we need to succeed on camera too. But
exactly.
what did there, was there any general like feedback after the presentation? Did they love it? Did they tell you? Because a lot of times you'll do something like this, and after they come up to you and say, "Hey, I also need help with this," and sometimes they'll tell you
Yeah.
something that could possibly be a new offering or something. Was there anything like that that happened for you?
They asked what my microphone was because I was in my studio recording it for Zoom. So they're like, what is that microphone? It sounds so good. And what I told them, I'm laved up as well. I had my cell phone set up next to my camera and I'm
Hmm.
recording it vertically in cinematic mode and it's mic'd up so that I can then upload that into AI and then send that off to create a blog post out of that presentation and then cut that vertical one into shorts into Opus Clip. So Opus Clip does that for me. So there we go. We have 3 blogs done.
Yeah.
Well, in the works, but one's done. We got 2 in the works. So I told you I was going to be doing 2 blogs a month, which it's fun. It's like what video can I make that's long enough that we could turn into a blog post that would be valuable for people.
Rach, I'm sorry, I got to interject. Okay, I got to give everybody a little tip, little trick that's been working really well with me with the marketing kit from HD Photo Hub. I use it as a little treat with any new client to kind of just put it right over the top. Like this is a little like customer service finesse. I get a new client, they do the shoot and everything with us, and then when I go to send the completed order to them, I have it set up as a template email already, and it says, "Hey, thanks so much for using our services. As a little bonus, I also am including the marketing kit. Just so you know, in the future, it's normally $50 to add this, but I just want to say thank you so much, and I want to let you know that this includes a dedicated website to your property, printable flyers, social media templates, a video slideshow, and it's going to have your face all over, and it's going to be great for you, and you can use it on your next booking appointment to win more listings, so that we hopefully are working with you again soon. And so I throw that right in there, and it's just like the piece de resistance. And they're like, what? Who are these people? They're fantastic. And we just got this cool thing. And guess what? They're hooked on it next time. Next time they buy the marketing kit, and I get a free little bump, a little extra money with no extra work. So I love
that's freaking genius. I think I might start doing that because I don't do that currently. That's a great incentive. I've had a lot of clients call and they're like, oh, do you do like a new client discount? And I used to, but now I don't. Yeah, I think that would be a really good thing to do instead of saying, oh yeah, we give you a discount. No, you get a free property website and marketing kit with your first order.
Give you a bump. Yeah, you make more money. Yeah, and it just costs a little bit to add that on there. So it's just like, nice finesse.
So if you want to try out the property website and marketing kit for yourself, you can put in promo code STS, as in shooting the shit, over on HG Photo Hub, and they will give you 50 free credits, which equates to about 3 property websites and marketing kits that you can test out and send to your clients and see their reaction for yourself. Okay, let's go back to the podcast. So anyways, so what was I saying? Gosh, my brain today. Wow. I'm all over the place.
You were talking about if they had any
they're talking about gear and the lav mic. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
After,
okay. Yeah. Who cares? Nobody cares that much, Rachel. So anyways, that's why I had the camera set up, because that's what I planned on doing with it. Right. So anyways, I explained to her that I had it hooked up for social media shorts. She was like, oh, what's that mic? And I was like, the DJI mic. And I said, you know what? Let me just send you my gear list, which Jan is making right now. We're going to put it into Stan Store, which is where you can host courses and stuff. And that's where I host all my stuff for Focused Media Collective that I give away and little courses I have. And they have to enter in their email. So they get put on our email list from there. Yeah. So it's kind of a bonus for that.
Yeah. Today, actually, they asked me, I was like, hey, I recommend you guys at least get a cell phone stand just so you can film yourself, right? And their gear is so not in their wheelhouse that I could have told them that literally that cell phone stand I got, Selfie 6 cell phone stand, costs I think $22. I could have told them it was $200. They probably would have been like, okay, like they don't, you know what I mean? So like,
I have no idea.
I was like, $22. They were like, oh, what? Like, oh, there's no reason for me to not have that. You know what I mean?
Yes. Well, I paid $65 for mine, but I don't know why I paid so much. It was an Instagram ad. I got duped, but that's okay. You know how that works. It just looks so good. I was like, yeah, I want it now. I bought a new cat toy too. And the other day I'm like, I got to stop buying stupid stuff on Instagram. Ridiculous.
And this is why you had to hide your Amazon app on your phone.
My New Year's resolution is to not buy anything on Amazon this year. I'm doing good. Just a couple things that I'm going to really need, but I don't know what those are yet. I mean, if I have to, I have it, but I'm really trying.
You're already talking yourself out of it.
I've done good. The only thing I bought was a screen protector for my phone and the little camera protector stickers that go on, because I need that. You know, the little sticker that goes on your screen so the glass doesn't break?
Oh, you said camera protector, and I thought, oh, do they have those? You have to like take it off. Oh, you put it on that side too?
They have stickers that go over your camera to protect your camera lens on your phone. Yeah. And those things, like, you buy them at the store and they're twice as much. I mean, they were like $10. I'm like,
same piece of plastic. Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously. Anyways. Okay. So that, and then, basically, I got really good feedback. They all were like, oh my gosh, this is so helpful. You know, you answered so many of the questions that I had and so many things that I'm hung up with. One guy did mention that since he started doing video marketing, his follower count has gone down. And I was like, oh boy. Like, my immediate reaction was like, oh no, I need to go look at his video marketing. Is it really bad? But I told him, I'm like, honestly, your follower count doesn't matter. Are you getting engagement on those videos? Are people commenting and direct messaging you? Because those are the real leads, and that's the real metric that matters. It really doesn't matter who's following you. And I said, if those people unfollow you, that's not your tribe. So let them go. You don't want them in your life anyway. You know, they're not your people. So it's totally okay. But I said, everybody that comments, that is a lead. So move on that right away. Get them in your DMs, get the conversation going, you know. And he was like,
and I want to say that him saying video marketing makes me a little worried. So, because we're saying you need to get on camera, that doesn't mean to just always sell your services. In fact, that should be the small side of the scale. You should be getting on camera to educate and help and give additional value to your clients. not always beat them over the head
Yeah.
with buy
Bye.
drone photos. That's no, you will lose following if you're only always telling them to buy drone photos. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he is, I mean, he's a real estate broker, so I don't know what he's doing. I have to go find him and look
Oh,
and see what his
right. Sorry,
account is.
broker, not media, but yes.
Yeah, yeah. But I know what you mean. Like, and who knows? I don't know what he's doing. So,
Mhm.
anyways, but yeah, it was overall, it was a good experience. It went well. It was almost an hour long. I was like, geez, I
Oh,
can
wow.
talk. Like, dang, give me a mic. I'm all over it.
Give me two, in fact.
Uh-huh. We're both talkers. Lucky audience, huh?
Well, let's hear some more of it. Dive
Yeah.
into some
Okay.
of this. Let's
So
go.
every event you're attending, well, at least brokers, every event they're attending, but you've also seen all over social media that it's time to get on camera. Like everyone's beating it over your head, like get on camera, get on camera. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's getting to the point where everybody is on camera. And now, like when I started doing video marketing, not a lot of people were on. So that
Mm.
really made me stand out from the crowd just for having a few professional videos made and then posting my Tip Tuesday. Like that was making me different than all the competition. But now the competition has realized that this is a valuable and effective way to market their business, and people are jumping in. And there are a lot of people out there, a lot of creators, a lot of photographers who are really nailing this social media thing and the
Oh
video
yeah.
marketing. And they're
Oh my
doing,
God.
I mean, it's so fun to watch. I'm like, dang, glad you're not in my market.
Right?
But yeah, seriously. But it's not like it's dead. It's just time to start because the longer you wait, the more behind you're going to be. And your competition is doing it. So I would say hop on it as soon as possible. But it helps you to build your personal brand. That's one of the biggest things. Your personal brand is the impression that you leave on a person. So it's basically your reputation. It's what people are saying about you when you're not in the room. When people say your name or say your business name, it's like that first thing that comes to their mind about your brand or about you as a person. And you establish that by all the little breadcrumbs that you've dropped along the way, right? All the little marketing pieces, your core values, their hobbies that you've put out there, like what makes you you, what creates your character, what values you have, all that stuff kind of creates your personal brand. Your colors, your fonts, like all of that should be cohesive. So when they see a piece of marketing material from you, they're going to recognize it like it's Nike because you've imprinted on them because you've had a very a very cohesive brand in a good way.
Wait, what is that? Is that oh that's Twilight.
That's Twilight, yeah.
First I thought it was Avatar at first, but did they do
Oh,
some?
that's a good movie too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's how they feel about you and your offer, right? So you want to have a good reputation. So it's important to build your personal brand, and video is a great way to do it because it builds trust. Videos, people rely a lot on facial expressions and body language to decide if they like someone and trust them. So it's important. Like, think about it, Neil, when I'm doing a podcast with you, if I didn't have a video to see your reaction to some things, I probably wouldn't be able to read the situation as well, you know?
Yeah.
But since I can see your reaction, I'm like,
if you couldn't
yeah,
hear my ridiculous laugh every time, then
yeah, that's true. That could stop. No,
hey,
kidding. Just kidding. Laugh away, friend.
Rachel.
Ah. So yeah, it's important for to be on video. Like it is really, really helpful for someone to get to know you and decide if they like you or not. Because if they just see your work and your photos and your videos, they don't know what the person is that's going to show up at the shoot. Like it could be anybody. But if they see you and they like you and they were like, oh, this person's totally presentable, they're professional, like I would love to have them at a shoot. I'd be proud to have them in a house with my client there.
Mhm.
It kind of proves that you are credible and able to show up and be professional.
Another big thing about video is it's easier to consume. There's a reason why, videos get way more views and way more likes than just a static photo. We know this statistic, so getting on camera just makes more sense, right? Because you can definitely blog post and you should, but video is just more engaging, easier to consume. Think about it. Do you want to watch the movie or you want to sit back and read the book? Most people are going to watch the movie if it's something they need to take in, right? So it's just easier. So it's important to take advantage of that, right? It's a big deal. And right now, it's free, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's
Yeah.
knows that's crazy. The fact that we
Right?
don't have to pay to basically put ourselves out there and advertise on this platform that's more powerful than what used to people used to use TV for.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's crazy because we all have a cell phone and that's all you need to create content. Like a cell
Yeah.
phone and a basic editing app, which most of them are free if you use just a basic one. CapCut just updated their pricing, which I was not happy about. Did you see that?
Oh,
The
no, I didn't see
pro
that yet.
the pro version's like $200 now, something like that.
Oh, really?
Wild. I was like,
Oh,
whoa,
I didn't.
CapCut. They're getting proud of themselves. But I mean, obviously I'm going to pay it because I use CapCut literally like every day.
Yeah, they
So
got you
whatever.
now.
It's fine. I know. Well, once they implemented the AI stuff, I think they kind of had to like up the prices. I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's free. You have a phone in your pocket. There's free editing software out there. There is no reason why you can't do this. And guys, we're photographers. We all have beautiful cameras with beautiful lenses that take beautiful video. Like we
Yeah,
have no excuse.
there is
None at
no
all.
excuse. There
No.
really isn't.
Yeah.
Well, I'm more of an introvert. Well, that's
Yeah.
not a good excuse anymore.
One example I used at the broker presentation was, you might mail out 500 flyers in your community and spend $500 on
Yeah.
that campaign to mail those out, right? But you could
Yep.
put out one reel on Instagram and it could reach hundreds, if not thousands of people. And it maybe cost you $50 or $100 to have it made, maybe 150, right? Or free if you made it yourself.
Yeah, free.
So
Yeah.
it's a great way to reach a lot of people and to kind of reach outside of your sphere that you currently have.
It's a crazy opportunity right now. I mean, that
Yes.
just does the fact that you have a phone that can create all this content and just post it for free and get thousands of like, not too hard to get 1,000 views. We do it all the time. It's not that hard. And
Hmm.
1,000 people. Like you get so used to it because you hear about people getting 1 million views and stuff like that. But even just a couple hundred people seeing it, that
Right?
would take a lot of work with postcards or phone calls or that's amazing.
Yeah. Look at PMRE had something like 250 people, I think, this year.
Yep.
Like that's imagine that times four. That's 1,000 views. Like that's 1,000 people seeing your reel. That's
And a
wild.
lot of people would be so excited, and they were excited to get on stage just to talk to 250 people.
Right?
You can
Yes.
do it every single day,
Well, I
multiple
think you have a
times if you want.
little more impact when you're on a stage with that many people versus Instagram reels. But
I don't
yes.
know. I don't know. I don't know. I think half the reason they want to get on that stage is just to make the reel out of it. So I don't know.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah,
Um,
so
one other thing is just one more touch that you have with your people. If
yeah.
they say that it takes 9 times for someone to see you before they trust you enough to buy from you or work with you. So if you think about you're sending out an email, right? You're
Yep.
doing flyers, you're dropping off your cards, you're going to networking events, you're doing email marketing, whatever. And now you're on social media and you're doing video marketing. That's just one more time that you're touching them. Okay. And if you're putting out content every day, you're putting it out in your stories, you're documenting your day. It's just such an effective way to stay top of mind with your clients.
Yeah.
And Instagram's been one of my number one ways that I've advertised my business. Um, I went through the Eli Jones coaching this last year. It
Mhm. Yep.
was like 6 months. And they were like, I cannot believe that you built your business to the size it is without doing broker presentations. I was like, it's all video marketing, Instagram, and referrals and real
And
producers.
referrals, I was gonna say.
Yeah. I mean, referrals, we
Referrals.
all have the referrals, right? But most of them who built their businesses up, they did it through broker presentations. That's what they were saying. So, and
Interesting.
brokerage deals. So, like cutting a deal with the brokerage and getting
Mm,
them exclusively, which I still haven't mastered that part yet. I need to get a little
yeah.
stronger in my like negotiation skills and grow a pair, and then I'll feel more confident going in there and doing it.
I've only done that once for one team too. I cut them a deal just on Matterport, but I've only done that once. I've not done that for any other group. Yeah.
We'll get there. So one more touch, stay top of mind. It works. Um, it's a great way too to like help your clients advertise stuff. We've talked about this in the past, but like when we have a new list or they have a new listing, you share it onto your page or onto your story, and then it gets all those views by more people. So they're happy with you. They're like, "Yay, my photographer shares my stuff on social media. It's so nice that she reshares my content and gets me more
Yep.
views." You know.
Totally. And the more you
Mhm.
build your own following, the more that you look valuable too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it just positions you as the authority, really. At the end of the day,
Right.
it makes you look
Right.
like the expert. So
Yeah.
I know a lot of us have imposter syndrome. We'll talk about that in the mindset portion next week.
Hmm.
But everybody, we'll just touch on it. You are smarter and you know more than somebody out there. There's always somebody like 3 to 4 steps behind you that needs to hear the information that you have inside you. So Let it out.
Yeah,
So with that being said, Neal, get on camera. Do
get
it.
on camera. You got to do it. If you got
Video.
questions, reach out to us. We can
Yeah.
help.
Follow us over on Instagram. It is Shooting the Shit, Rach and Neal. And again, remember, if you want to donate to California, the link is in the description below. Just consider $5-10. Help them out. That poor state. Oh, couldn't even imagine.
Scary.
All right, guys.
Thanks so much. We'll see you on part 2.
See you later.